Hey guys, welcome to Fun and Studies. I'm Akrame. Today's topic is nutrition in plants. You may think you have already taught us. Then why are you explaining it again? No, I'm teaching you a different topic. Let's see what is different. Nutrition in plants. Introduction. Even if we are provided with carbon dioxide, sunlight, chlorophyll, and water, we won't be able to make food due to the lack of chloroplast. We lack the objects in the chemical and molecular level. So it says that when we have all the items required for the photosynthesis, we cannot perform the activity because we lack the objects in the chemical and molecular level. Nutrients. These are chemical compounds inputs that are used by the body to function and maintain health. So nutrients are chemical compound inputs that are used by the body to function and maintain health. Mode of nutrition. Autotrophic. Auto means self and trophic means nutrients. In that also we have two types. Photoautotrophic, example plants, and chemoautotrophic, example some bacteria. Photoautotrophic means they require light to perform the photosynthesis, uh, which can also be known as light dependent mode of nutrition. And chemoautotrophic can do the photosynthesis both in light and dark. Heterotrophic. Hetero means different. Trophic means nutrition. Different nutrients. Saprotrophic nutrition, example fungi, which means they need dead and decaying matter as food. Parasitic nutrition, example tick, lice, mosquito, means when the host is alive or the organism is alive, another organism consumes the first organism as food. Like the mosquito, they take our blood even when we are alive. Next comes holozoic nutrition, example amoeba and human. For us, it is enough to learn that there are three types of holozoic uh, nutrition categories: herbivores, plant eaters; carnivores, animal eaters; omnivores, both plant and animal eaters. Next, photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process by which plants synthesize their own food in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll using carbon dioxide and water. What is new in this, you may think? The new thing in this photosynthesis learning is that you will know the chemical composition. 6 CO2 means 6 carbon dioxide molecules plus 12 H2O, which means plus 12 water molecules in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll form C6H12O6, which means the glucose plus 6O2, 6 watt oxygen, and 6 H2O, which means 6 water. So sunlight is took by the leaves, is taken by the leaves, carbon dioxide is taken by the leaf, water is taken by the roots, and when the leaf performs the photosynthesis, they release some extra uh, wastes which are useful for us, oxygen and sugar. Sugar they consume some and they leave some and store. More about it. Leaves are the food factory of plants. Sun is the ultimate source of energy. Phloem distributes food to all parts of plant in the form of sucrose. Extra carbohydrate gets stored in the plant in the form of starch. Phloem distributes food multidirectionally. So what is this phloem? Phloem, yes. So water and minerals are carried to the leaves through xylem, and after the to the leaf and other parts by the xylem, and after the photosynthesis completes from the leaf, this photosynthesis products, which means the glucose and food, is taken to all parts of the plant through phloem. So they are part of stem. Raw materials required for photosynthesis: CO2, which means carbon dioxide; H2O, which means water; sunlight, which means sunlight itself; and chlorophyll, green pigments of the leaf. CO2, 0.032% is the amount of CO2 present in the air. For photosynthesis, CO2 enters the leaf through stomata. Means in the atmosphere we have different gases: oxygen, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, helium, argon, etc. And in this 100%, 72% is occupied by nitrogen, 20, 70, 1 minute. Yes, 78% is nitrogen and 20.9% is oxygen, and the others are occupied by argon, carbon dioxide, water vapor, smoke, I mean water vapor and dust particles, etc. In this 100%, 0.032% is the amount of carbon dioxide present in the air. And this carbon dioxide enters the leaf through stomata. Next comes water. Water and minerals present in the soil are absorbed by the roots and transported to the leaf through xylem. So this xylem is a part of the stem, as I told you, and this carries the water and minerals. Sunlight. It is the ultimate source of energy. Sunlight has a very important job in photosynthesis. The energy captured by chlorophyll can be used in photosynthesis to make sugar. When a plant gets limited sunlight, photosynthesis slows down. This also means that the plant might not be getting enough sugar, its energy source. So it is the ultimate source of energy, and when enough sunlight is not captured, the photosynthesis slows down and sugar might not be produced. It is the energy source of the plant. Chlorophyll. The green pigment called chlorophyll captures the energy for the sunlight to synthesize the food. Green pigment called chlorophyll. Okay, it is typed two times. Structure of a chloroplast. This is the chloroplast. It has inner membrane, outer membrane, thylakoids, ribosomes, stoma, drop of lipids, chloroplast DNA, which instructs to do everything, starch granule, granum, which means when thylakoids are stacked one onto the other. And why am I showing you this? Because in the grana we have thylakoids. In the thylakoid, I'll come from the top to the bottom. Topmost is a forest. In the forest, trees. In the trees, leaves. In the leaves, chloroplasts. In the chloroplasts, granums. In the granums, thylakoids. In the thylakoid membrane, we have many chlorophyll. So I'm showing you all of this. Chlorophyll is located in the thylakoid membrane of the chloroplast. Photosynthesis is an endothermic reaction. The process requires an input of energy. Endothermic and exothermic we will learn in the later chapters. Physical and chemical changes. Photosynthesis is oxidation reduction reaction, as it includes loss of electrons by water and gain of electrons by carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide enters the leaf through stomata. Via means through stomata. Through. Water is transported through roots via xylem. The process of photosynthesis occurs in mesophiles. Photosynthesis occurs in the visible and maximum uh, in red. This is the uh, uh, thickness of the light. 350 to 700 millimeters, which means 3.35 centimeters to 70 centimeters, and maximum in red, which is 60 to 70 centimeters, and in blue, which is 42.5 to 45 centimeters of light. I'm converting it into centimeters. And negligible in green light. Photosynthetic pigments. So in this photosynthesis also we need specific pigments. Pigments, chlorophyll and carotenoids. In this chlorophyll is the major part and carotenoids are smaller parts but are required. Like the carbohydrate in our diet is present the most, but the other vitamins, fats, proteins are required, but in smaller quantities. Chlorophyll. It has two types, chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Chlorophyll A is blue-green in color and present in all plants. It is blue-green, so I have represented it in this color. And chlorophyll B is olive green. Carotenoids, carotene and xanthophyll. Carotene, orange, xanthophyll, yellow. Dark and light reaction, photosynthesis. Light reaction, also known as light dependent reaction, assimilatory power is generated here. Like in the water, the petroleum is found. But if petroleum is made in plants, it will be the light reaction. It is like the making of fuel. And dark reaction, also known as light independent reaction, the assimilatory power generated in the light phase is used up in dark reaction to produce sugar. So this fuel is used in the dark reaction, and after using up all this power, it forms sugar. Steps taken place in photosynthesis: absorption of sunlight by chlorophyll, conversion of light energy into chemical energy, splitting of water into hydrogen oxygen by light energy, conversion of CO2 into carbohydrate by utilizing the chemical energy obtained by the transformation by light energy. I'll explain you this conversion of light and splitting of water into hydrogen and oxygen by light energy afterwards. So this is the diagram. In the light energy, the light is took in the thylakoid membrane. All of this happens, and after it happens, the ATP and NADPH are released into the dark reaction. In the dark reaction, the Calvin cycle or C3 cycle occurs, and uh, this used up ATP and NADP are sent into the thylakoid membrane, and it again occurs. I'll explain you it now. So in this we have photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. The photosystem 2 produces energy, and this is sent into the dark reaction. In the dark reaction, carbon dioxide is absorbed and Calvin cycle occurs or C3 cycle occurs. What is this? The carbon dioxide comes inside the leaf through stoma, and after it needs a guide. It is a new person to come inside the leaf. It does not know how the leaf is. It, it needs a guide. So There is a guide here. What is it? It is RUBP. RUBP agrees to make a tour of the CO2 and sends Rubisco with the CO2. And after this, the CO2 is took into a tour, and uh, at one point, the CO2, some part of the CO2 is released into the food vacuum. Now this CO2 is waste. So it again comes with the Rubisco to the RUBP, and the carbon dioxide goes out. So it comes in to the leaf, meets the Rubisco two times. So it is known as the C3 cycle. And after this, this food vacuole takes in so many carbon dioxides and takes some energy from all of them. After this, this ATP and NADPH which is used is again replenished and sent into the photosystem 1. Some part is used in the way and some is stored for the next day for the light reaction. So in this C3 or Kelvin cycle, the input and output. Input is 6CO2, output is C6H12O6, which is the glucose. 18 ATP into 18 ADP. I'll explain you all this. 12 NADPH into 12 NADP. I'll explain the glossary. The last part, RUBP, ribulose bisphosphate. So I said you that after the carbon dioxide comes, it needs some guide to make some tour. So it is the ribulose bisphosphate. Next comes the Rubisco. The RUBP sends Rubisco. Ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase. Next comes PGA, phosphoglyceric acid. ATP, adenosine triphosphate. ADP, adenosine diphosphate. So, uh, 18 ATP are used. 18 adenosine triphosphate are took from the light reaction to the dark reaction. I will just annotate. Yes, 18 ATP are took and they are again sent back as ADP. And NADPH is it here? Now NADPH are took and NADP is sent back. So some changes are there, but still it can be used. 12 NADPH. NADPH means nicotinamide and then mm, mm, dineu- uh, dinucleotide tide phosphate hydrogen. That is NADPH. NADP is without the hydrogen. PS photosystem. So from there are two PS in here. It is here actually this is PS two and here it is PS one. No. It is PS two. This is this, 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 this is PS two. This is PS one, which is photosystem 2 and photosystem 1. At last, At last, we see the photolysis, light breakdown. So the water enters through the roots, but in the water, the plants need only hydrogen, not oxygen. So what it does photolysis, which is another process, and divide it into three molecules, H2O. So there are two hydrogen and one oxygen. So they take this two hydrogen and this one oxygen is released into the atmosphere. I told you. I'll explain you the same. Yes, so it is photolysis and this light breaks this water molecule. So it is all about the photolysis and photosynthesis and nutrition in plants. Thank you.